The amount of kids who have committed suicide in the last few years because of cyberbullying is outrageous. It is completely unnecessary and it needs to stop. It has become commonplace in America, and I don't know why. Cyberbullying is defined as the use of electronic communication to bully a person with messages that are intimidating or threatening. That is off the website Bullying Statistics. 1 in 2 teens have experienced it. 1 in 10 will only 1 in 10 will tell their parents. Only 1 in 5 is told to law enforcement. 1 in 10 teenagers has had embarrassing photos taken of them, and they not even know about it. And girls are more likely to take place in cyberbullying than guys are. One of the worst side effects of cyberbullying is suicide. But there's also drugs, alcohol, depression. But the most severe of all is suicide. Fox 43 reported about a 14-year-old girl named Olivia Perryman. She had met with her therapist and not 40 minutes later was dead. She committed suicide due to some cyberbullying that happened to her. She was from Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania had passed a law that was to prosecute people who had been involved in cyberbullying, but her bullies have yet to be prosecuted. There was a boy named Tyler Clementi. He was 18 years old, and he was at a New Jersey college. He had jumped off the George Washington Bridge. The website PureSite gives us some details behind his experience. Tyler had an encounter with a male student from his school. I don't believe his parents knew that he was gay, and his roommate and some of his roommate's friend had videoed his encounter with this boy without his permission and put it on the internet. And unfortunately, this had happened many times. And then, right before Tyler committed his suicide, he had put on his Facebook that, in quotes, he was jumping off the George Washington Bridge, sorry. I don't understand why this has become so common when we know the negative side effects of it so badly. And it's so greatly seen everywhere. The website PureSite has multiple accounts of kids who have committed suicide due to these things, and I don't know how much more we need to know other than our children are committing suicide at 14 years of age because of somebody who has said something negative about them online. I don't understand why this has become so common, and it's sad to think that our children have different lives behind a screen than they do in real life. There's also a website called hatespeech.org that allows and shows the use of hate speech in Europe. It documents hate speech in Europe by using secondhand stories, which are themselves sort of hate speech. They say that their goal is to contribute to the development of research and reporting that evaluates the total reporting on hate speech, hate crime, and extremism in Europe. But what they don't understand is they themselves are contributing to this hate speech. The hate speech in these instances is not even personally related, it's group related on certain things like what has happened to the Islam people or something that an attack that has happened in Belgium. It's directed at an encounter or an event instead of just a person, and can have just as many negative effects. Now, in order to make this not illegal or punishable by law, they have what they have created is called a Creative Commons license. And what this means is you must give appropriate credit, provide a link, and indicate if changes were made, but not in a way that suggests that the license endorses you or your uses. If you remix, build upon, or transform the material, you may not distribute it the modified material, and this is under the Creative Commons license. I just believe that bullying has gotten so out of hand, and I don't understand why it's become so common. There's no need for it other than a brief moment of making yourself feel better. But in reality, your brief moment of feeling better could ruin somebody's entire life. And I don't understand why this is okay or why this has become so popular. I myself have even been a part of cyberbullying. In middle school, I got some very nasty emails from some girls, and they were never called out on it. We found out who it was, but their parents didn't even say anything to them. So I personally know how this makes you feel. Now, I didn't feel the need to end my life, and really it's made me a stronger person. But there's no need for this to be even happening. And so I think that before you start writing behind that keyboard, that computer, before you have your online persona, you need to think how you're affecting other people and how your words can change their life. And I believe that everyone needs to think before they act. That's the big thing. Everybody just needs to think before they act. And no cyberbullying. No need to bully somebody behind a screen.